Hello, everyone. This is Robert Hollis. I hope you're having a wonderful and blessed day. Today, we're finishing up the six higher faculties. They will be memory and reason. Memory and reason. And so I'm waiting for some people to get on and tell me they can see me. Maybe my wife can yell at me from the other side and say she sees me.
I see ya.
Okay, thank you, Lab. All right, so the first one we're going to talk about is memory, because memory is very, very easy, very simple. Wow, when it popped on here, Matthew, Craig, Kai, my lovely wife, happy payday. Yeah, we not only got our residual check, but also our maintenance check. So, yeah, we got paid today more than I used to make a year as a mechanic. So that's pretty cool. Hi, Heidi. Hi, Melody, Dustin, Pat, Lisa, Angel, nice to see you. Norma, Christina, Lisa, Zoltan. Yeah, so I'm going to start out with memory first. Again, six higher faculties, what we've been talking about in the last few days, or everybody understands, the concept of sight and hearing. We call it our six senses, our smell, our taste, our touch. But a lot of people don't talk about the six higher faculties. And so far, please go look at the other videos that we've created. One was on imagination. The other one was on perception. Another one on intuition. I really love talking about one of my favorite, the wheel, yesterday, which is really, really amazing. And so today we're talking about the last two, which is memory and also reason. Now, memory is very, very simple. One of the things that I really, really understand about this is when I heard some of these statements. I was just talking to a lady that I talked today, and the words, the thoughts, the things that we say to ourselves and others are just so self-sabotaging. Hey, Esteban, nice to see you on here. Great, great, great leader. And so, where was I? Oh, the memory is, and one of the things is that a lot of us have a tendency of saying, I'm probably guilty as anyone. It's like, oh my God, I don't remember that. Oh my God, I don't remember that. I have a short-term memory. I have a long-term memory. I don't have a good short-term memory. I have so we're constantly beating ourselves up about memory. And what we do is we say words and throw them out there. And like Bruce Lee says, don't ever say any words, even jokingly, about yourself, because you get to hear it. You get to hear it. And so you're just reaffirming it. So the first thing, there's no such thing as a bad memory. I'll never forget the first time that I heard this from Bob Proctor. There's no such thing as a bad memory. In fact, everyone that watches this video live or recorded has a perfect memory. But most people have weak memories, and it's only for one reason. One reason is each and every one of these things that we talked about need to be exercised. And so, I remember when Bob Proctor, I first heard this from Bob Proctor 30 some years ago, and he talked about a book, and that book is called The Memory Book. And it's by two gentlemen, and one of them is named Jerry Lucas. So I'm going to post it right here. And then basically, we're done with memory. People will either work on their memory by using books or other things. If you went into Google or YouTube and put in how to increase my memory, how to increase my imagination, my perception, my intuition, how to build my willpower. You guys will find out that everything is something that we just got to work on. And if we work on it, it will get better. It will get Kaizen. The whole thing is just amazing. So one of the things is just understand that memory, when people keep saying, oh my God, I keep forgetting this, all you're doing is validating something that you truly believe in, which is going to be the next thing we talk about, which is reason. Now, when you talk about reason, it was so funny. I went into Google and I always type in things to find out what a meaning is. And believe it or not, the biggest one that like was pages and pages was a band, I hope I say it right, Hubasink, and they have a song, The Reason. You know what I mean? The reason that I do what I do, and that reason is you. And so when you really find out, a lot of people will say, the reason I do this, the reason I do this, the reason I do this. And what reason is again, a portion of the mind that we just, perfect, Kim, just the renewing of the mind daily. Couldn't have said it better. And one of the things that we got to do with reason is that we just need to understand that we have a lot more, we're available to a lot more information than you want to believe. And so what a lot of people do is they don't learn to shut down their mind. And so they got a million voices in there and a million ideas going all the time. And most of them are just automatic. They're just automatic. And there's a lot of little words and voices that are flying through our head that's not very good. Not very good. Thank you, Craig. And one of the things is that we have to realize that through the working of our mind, that we could ask questions. I personally, out loud with my mouth, I don't care if people think I'm silly. I don't care if they think I'm mentally challenged. But what I do is I constantly say, you know, in what ways can my life be better? In what ways could my life be better? Instead of saying, why this always happens to me, why not say, what is this trying to teach me? What lesson do I need to learn? Because it's unique that the same thing will happen to us over and over and over, sort of like Groundhog Day. Because what we do is we keep it intact. We go, oh my God, this always happens to me. You know, bad things happen in threes. And, you know, same crap, different day. And what we constantly doing is, hey, you know, how are you doing? Well, you know, I'm not dead. I'm not dead. Like really, really raise your standards there. I'm still breathing. You know what I mean? And so what we do is, hi, Tom. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Craig. I seen Ben in here. I haven't seen Ben in a while. Dee Dee, Pat, Kim again. Thank you so much. Arslan, thank you very much for tuning in. Danielle, George. And so one of the things that we got to do is reason very simply means that we're asking, I ask, how can I make this better? What are ways that I could make this work? What are things that I can do? See, a lot of people will keep saying, and we defeat ourselves by our words. We defeat ourselves by our thoughts. It's like, well, I suck at this stuff. I'm not a people person. Well, what is a reason to be a people person? How can I become a better people person? What can I do to make my patience better? What can I do to understand that I can have an incredible future by just being willing to believe that there's the right people out there? So you'll constantly hear people all the time, they'll say, everyone I talk to says no, and everyone I know is negative, and everyone I know is broke. And I'm going like, there is no way, and I did say in another video, and some of this will probably hurt someone's feelings, I'm sure, but the world, the universe, whatever belief that you have, I believe is protecting people from you. So a lot of people hear about law of attraction, right? But you have to become the person that will help them move forward. You don't want to be the person that drags them down, that tells them, oh my God, you wouldn't believe what's wrong with me, and you can't believe what happened here, and oh my God, this ugliness that is happening in other countries, and oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, it's like if the sky is falling, the sky is falling. And so a lot of people that if you looked at their website or looked at their Facebook profile, and you look at it, you go back, you're going to see that this person's constant thoughts that they put out on the internet are all sabotaging and defeatful, and they're just destroying themselves. So my question to you, why would someone want to work with you? Why would someone want to work with you if your constant thoughts is, oh my God, this is not going to work, and oh my God, this is happening, and oh my God, it's like you have to learn to tell yourself a different story. You have to come up with a reason that you can do this. Mine was really simple. I don't have to be the best. I just have to be better than I was yesterday. And I constantly look at people that I relate to and go, wow, they're making, $60,000 a month. I don't know if I'll ever be able to do that, but I believe that I could do 10% of that. If I could do 10% of that, that's more than I've ever made in my life. So I look at a lot of people and I go, listen, if I just continue doing it and I get better, Kaizen, a never-ending improvement, and I just keep focusing on the things that I want to get better at, the things that I know that if I think differently and talk differently, that I can become somebody that other people are attracted to. I mean, I know my son's on here and we're talking about doing all kinds of unique things in the future. But, one of them is like, golly, I would love for, everyone to hear my wife's point of view of who I was before I worked on me. And there would be two things that I would be worried about if you guys heard my wife be extremely vulnerable and truthful. I have a feeling that a lot of you wouldn't like me anymore. You'll have a lot of explicitives, you know what I mean? That whatever, that, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And it's because I wasn't a good person. I wasn't a good person. And the reason why is I had a victim mentality, that, oh, woe is me. You know what I mean? I got taken away from my parents. I had hung around the wrong crowd. I had to serve some, time in a federal penitentiary. I was hanging around wrong people, doing the wrong things. Are you listening to me? And so the way they talked is the way my environment was. Everyone's got a different set of rules, and my rules wasn't very nice. My whole philosophy was, sooner or later, you're going to hurt me. So if I hurt you first, then when you hurt me, we're even. And I realized that a lot of people kept disappearing in my life because of who I was. They didn't like being around that person. I was very unpredictable. I would shout out and say things I shouldn't to people at any moment. And it all was wrapped around that I was in pain because I didn't feel like anyone loved me. And the worst one is I didn't love me. I didn't like anything about me. And I remember with Brene Brown, she talked about this new thing that she has on HBO Max called Atlas. Atlas is something, Terry, I just reminded myself, so we gotta watch it. But one of the things that she talks about is we just have this ability to really, really, shut down the walls and not want to let ourselves out there. And, when you talk about being vulnerable and really, really talking your true truth, she said, I always ask people all the time, before we get to know each other, why don't you just tell me? Why don't you just tell me some stuff that you really, really, really love? Just really, really love. I love riding my fat boy Harley. You know what I mean? I love helping people. I love making my wife laugh and smile. I love making my kids laugh and smile. I love going on vacations, and she said they'll just come out and say a lot of stuff that they love, and they never ever include themselves. After they say all the stuff they love, she says, "Why did you leave out yourself?" And so, I had to work really hard on myself. And I had to come to grips that there was a lot of things that I was doing to self-sabotage myself and a lot of stinking thinking. And so I had to learn to reprogram that part of who I was. But I wasn't aware. The biggest things I wanted to do with these videos is make you aware that you can become a different person. They now have scientific documentation that they got people out there. What sign are you? Well, I'm a Pisces. Oh my God. Well, this is what Pisces are. This is what Tauruses are. This is what, Aries is. They also talk about personalities. People say, well, you don't know my personality. The phrase that I love saying to people is, there's this phrase out there that says, a leopard can't change his spots. I can guarantee you I virtually have changed every spot I've had. And I'm still working on ones that need to be changed. I'm going to continue working on myself. So it was neat for me to be able to teach these higher faculties, because the reason I believe that I shared these things is because these are things that I need to also work on. Does that make sense to you guys? It just brings it to my attention. And they say when you really want to help people and you really go out and start sharing things that you believe that they should be doing to make their life better, you're usually talking about you. You're usually going, oh my Lord, I was telling that person that, they got to make sure they read the greatest miracle in the world, and they got to make sure to, focus on changing their mind, and they got to stop doing stinking thinking, and they got to stop sabotaging. And it's like, wow, you maybe should listen to your own teaching. You might want to listen to your own advice and your mentorship and your teaching. So I hope you guys really, really enjoyed these videos of the 6 higher faculties. Make sure you go to roberthollis.com/free. Make sure you stay in touch with us. And another thing you can do is go to, roberthollis.com/steps. I believe that this is 90 or 91 as far as videos I've already done. And man, we're really, really excited about what's happening tomorrow. The company that Terry and I have been with for 4 years now is just revamping to a whole different level, coming out with a new product that everyone should be using, because it's a product that if you use it, you'll make money without selling it or recruiting. I'm trying to come up with the best way to say that. So I love and appreciate each and every one of you. I have no idea what I'm going to talk about tomorrow. But it's definitely going to be exciting. I love and appreciate you. And if anyone's ever told you, didn't tell you that they give you permission to succeed, let me be the first. Let me tell you that I believe in you. You can do this. I know you can. If Terry and I can do this, I know for a fact that you can do this. All Terry and I are is average people that attempted some above average things. All Terry and I did was, wow, if these people can do it, why can't I? I know I'm not going to be good at it at the beginning, but if I keep practicing and keep getting 1% better and always improving, that we could change our lives. And man, have we ever. So if we can do it, you can do it. Love and appreciate you, and talk to you soon.